Greetings, the internet. You're listening to Ask the Oz Brothers. You're with your hosts, Max and Phil Oz. I'm Phil.
And I'm Max.
How you doing, Max?
Not too bad at all. I've got a little bit of a story to tell you. It may be boring, it may not be, but I'm going to tell it anyway. I want to know how you are first. How are you?
Well, I'm a bit boring too. I'm saying you're boring. Actually, it's a funny story around that. I met this guy once, and he was working with a girl I went to school with, and she told him that I was boring.
Wow.
Yeah, and you know what? That's 20 years in jail, I reckon, for being boring.
I don't know. I think it's okay to be boring. No, it's okay. We can all be boring. I can be bloody boring as hell, and that's okay.
Look, I'm okay. We've just been having some technical problems with our connection and all that, but we seem to be working through that as best we can. There's not much else we can do, really. So I'm happy to be here, happy to be online.
Yeah, it's great.
And let's read these letters. And we've got a good bunch of letters today for our 7th episode. We want to help. We want you to write to us. If you feel as though that you would like to talk with us, you can email us and we can organise a phone link up. Your privacy is maintained and you can read your letters out on the show, which is a new innovation that we're introducing to the program. So what do you think about that, Max? Did I say that correctly?
You did. Before we do, I want to tell you my little story, my short story. As you know, I'm a bicycle rider. Now today, I went out and I rode my bicycle to get a mirror which can be attached to my helmet, which means that I don't have to look around behind me to see if there are any cars. Now here's the thing. I was at the traffic light with this new mirror attached to my helmet, and this guy who I'd never seen before, just standing there with his little kid, and he said to me, "Hey, where did you get that?" And I told him all about it. I told him where to get it, and he looked very serious, and he said, "That's great." And guess what he did?
What did he do?
He walked across the red light.
Okay.
Now, here's the thing. If there was anyone who needed a mirror on the back of their hat, their helmet, whatever, it would be that guy. So maybe he will go and buy one. I hope he does. It only cost me $15.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
It's like a new world has opened up in front of me, or should I say a new world has opened up behind me. But apart from that, let's read the first letter. Dear Oz Brothers, thank you for reading my letter. I'm in a bit of a quandary and need some advice. Thinking about my situation is making me anxious. I'm seeing a psychiatrist, and anyway, what he tells me is that he has these weekend workshops called constellation therapy. He felt that by me coming to the seminar, it may help me come to terms with my dysfunctional family. Initially, I was excited by the prospect of the therapy, the constellation therapy, whereby individuals tell their family stories and volunteers position themselves in the room in some weird psychodrama and act out on behalf of the teller. I'm not sure what that means, but it sounds pretty weird. But anyway, Goodness me, some people were carrying on in their dramatic attempts that it embarrassed me. One attendee was screaming and howling as if she was at some evangelical church gathering. This stuff is supposed to help people heal, but all I could garner from it was that everyone except for me was a bit crazy.
Yeah, I actually have something to offer too, but look, I'm really enjoying you reading this. This is a really good letter, and I've got something to offer, but you continue on, please, Max.
Look, I'm laughing, but on the inside, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, one participant got into a verbal stash with the good doctor complaining that nothing was working. I got home that night and drank a bottle of cheap wine, oh boy, to numb the memory of the day that reminded me of the times as a youngster when I was forced to go to church. And I paid $160 for this thing. I didn't even get a chance to have my constellation done. What the hell is a constellation done? But anyway, before writing this letter, I did some research on constellation therapy and I found some YouTube videos. There seems to be a dichotomy of opinions and it just made me more confused. What are your thoughts? Am I the one that's crazy? Does this stuff work, or is this a formation of a cult? Yours Sincerely, I have no words. Over to you. Please, Phil, I'm a bit scared.
I do know about this stuff. It's practiced widely in Germany. It's almost like going to see a GP. But there is no evidence that it works. I must admit, Max, I confess, I did read this letter and did some research and know of this therapy anyway before reading it. And it is like a psychodrama, like our consolation person suggested. It's like a psychodrama where they position themselves within a room according to where their emotion takes them. This is the actors. And that's supposed to that positioning is supposed to help deal with the difficulties. Basically, it's garbage. There's no evidence that it works. In fact, the foundation guy of it, he gets angry with people when it doesn't work rather than looking at himself and saying, maybe I'm doing it wrong or maybe this is wrong. It's garbage. I would ask for your money back and have nothing to do with this stuff ever again. But that's just my opinion. And that's why people write their letters, so they would like to get our opinions on things. If you want to pursue it, that's fine. I hope it works. But I don't believe that it does, and you've been ripped off.
Well, that was so well said. All I can say is that after listening to you, I will defer to your thoughts about this.
Yeah. Thank you, Max.
It just sounds mad.
Yeah, it's mad. It is mad. That's a good word for it, Max. For someone who doesn't know anything about it, your conclusions are very sound. It is mad.
Can I say mad meaning mutually assured dickheadness?
Yeah, forgive me, Max. I'm just so caught up in the garbage that this is that maybe there is no room in my head right now. No offense about the joke. It was a fantastic joke. It's just that I know of this therapy and it's garbage. I recommend that people get on YouTube, have a look at it. It's like some psychodrama thing that, you could do it.
Okay.
There are just small sound ways of working with this family dysfunctionality. These stories are tragic too. And I just think it's not a serious way to deal with these very serious stories and concerns of people. So I think I've said my piece. I don't think we'll ever talk about constellations ever again because I think we've said enough.
I want you to read out the second letter. Please.
Okay, thank you. Okay, dear Oz Brothers, how should I approach this problem? My brother is such a jerk. He has 2 children under 5 years old, and I have no time for his parenting skills. I'm wondering whether I'm being unreasonable as I'm not a mother and don't plan to be in the near future.